welcome back to the channel. I thought I would hop on here and give a quick little update before I have to go into work. Actually, let's check the time. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have like 15 minutes, so plenty of time. I actually was just giving a whole update to my phone and I realized that it wasn't on record. So let's do this again. I'm 1 month into working as a new nurse practitioner at the urgent care, and it's been a transition that I'm slowly settling into. I'm actually at work right now. I'm in the parking lot. It's never a good sign when you pull in and there's not one parking spot. Well, obviously there is one. I waited for somebody to leave and took their spot. But I have a feeling I'm walking into a busy urgent care, which has definitely been the theme of this urgent care. It is a very busy urgent care. For example, last night I was here by myself for 5 hours from 5 to 10 p.m. and I saw 24 patients on my own. And the night before I had a partner and we each saw 30 plus patients. So thank God that night before I was with somebody, because there's not a feasible way that I could see 60 patients on my own. It's just not possible. Luckily last night was very steady, and don't get me wrong, 24 patients in 5 hours, I was nonstop go, but it was more doable than obviously 60 patients. I don't even know what would happen in that situation. I mean, people will obviously have to wait or leave if it's not that emergent. And there's just, I'm only one person, so you can only do so much. Luckily, there haven't been many shifts that I've worked where I've been the only provider, or if I am, it's only for a few hours, which I prefer. It's really nice to have a partner there working with you to bounce ideas off of and just use as another set of eyes or ears, another resource. It's very alleviating to me to have another provider there. Being the only provider, it's a little intimidating, because not only do you have to see every patient that walks through the door, obviously, but you have to know what's going on and be able to treat them. And if you don't, you're the end game, right? There's nowhere else to turn, I guess. Unless, of course, they need higher care and then you have to send them to the ER. If it's appropriate, then that's fine. But the goal is to not ship everyone off to the ER if they don't need to go, especially right now. I know my friends in the ER are like drowning in patients. There's no beds even in the ER, so I'll be sending them to basically sit in a hallway or in a waiting room for hours on end. So really the goal is to not to have to send anyone to ER unless it's absolutely obviously necessary, but there's a lot of weight there and trying to know exactly the right thing to do for every one of the patients. And it gets tricky. I mean, you have your resources and I have people I can text if I need to, but it's just navigating that process of transitioning from the nurse to a provider role and dealing with that new pressure that comes with that. So the way that it works is when there's patients there that you're seeing, there's minimum charting that you have to do to get them out the door, but obviously everybody needs their charting completed, and the goal is to complete everybody's chart within 24 hours of seeing them. So when a patient comes in and you're treating them, you have to finish the diagnosis and the plan. Those two things are required for them to be able to leave the urgent care. So you usually want to have at least 2 diagnoses, and then for the plan, that's like advice, any kind of discharge instructions, any kind of referrals, obviously meds and treatment plan, and then their disposition. And so those two components are required for them to leave the urgent care, and then everything else kind of has to wait until there's no more patients in the waiting room. And everything else includes the HPI, the review of systems, your exam, your assessment and plan, coding, all of that stuff kind of comes after when the patient is gone. Navigating the charting has been tricky. It's a lot. It's a lot of charting, and it's very different than what I was used to first using a different system. I'm using DocuTap now, where I used Epic before. And then obviously charting from a nurse's standpoint from a provider standpoint is just different. And I never felt the same amount of pressure I did charting as a nurse as I do now, because I feel like I'm a lot more liable. So figuring out the charting has been tricky. And I have yet to actually complete anybody's charting. I feel like in real time, it usually has to wait until the end of the shift because we're so busy and we're just trying to manage all of our patients. So I usually find myself staying after a couple hours or even bringing it home. Because I don't want to stay like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. here in the urgent care by myself. 1, I'm a female and I just feel like it's risky. And 2, I just don't want to be here that late. I have to drive home. Like, I need to be able to stay awake on the road. So last night, like for example, I said I worked those 5 hours. I saw 24 patients It was very, very busy. There was not a chance in hell that I would have ever finished the charting by 10 p.m. at the end of my shift. I stayed here until just a little after midnight, and that was me flying. I felt like flying through the charting, but my goal was to finish all of the charting yesterday so I could come into work today and not have any charting to do on the patients I saw yesterday, and that I could only see the patients I have today and then manage that charting this evening or tomorrow morning even when I wake up. However I can manage it, because I'm really tired. Like I said, I left here after midnight last night. By the time I got home and like wound down, I didn't go to bed till nearly 2 a.m. and both boys were up and ready to go by 7:30 in the morning. And my husband's a teacher, so he was gone. So it's just me and the kiddos. Somebody's got to get up and take care of the kids, regardless of how tired I was. So I could not get coffee into me fast enough, and I still feel a little meh right now. So yeah, so I would say that the charting, that aspect is going to take me some time to get used to. I said that I didn't want to take any of my work home, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just got to get my job done and get maybe better in my flow, and maybe it will get easier with the charting. But as of now, I'm taking it home with me, and I'm spending a couple hours after every shift charting. I find myself going home after my shifts, and regardless of how I feel leaving the urgent care and how I feel the day went, what time is it? Okay. Regardless of how I feel, like how the day went, like when I'm here or when I leave, I might feel good, like, okay, you know, I managed my time properly and I took good care of my patients and I feel good about what I did. I don't care how good I feel leaving. When I get home and I lay my head down on my pillow, close my eyes to go to bed, and it's just like I'm wide awake all of a sudden, going through my brain, like literally rehashing everything that I did that entire day. I sometimes will wake up and get out of bed and like go look something up to like validate or try to confirm what it was that I did, because I have anxiety about doing anything wrong for any of my patients. And I think that too will kind of dwindle away as I settle, like I said, into my role and get used to this. But currently it's just, you know, it's a lot, and I'm trying to manage my anxiety as a new provider. So it's just learning to handle my time management with patients and charting, and to have confidence in myself as a new nurse practitioner, and that I'm doing the best I can for my patients. That's big. I mean, I know I'm not alone. I've spoke with other new nurse practitioners, and I know that this feeling of just worry, I know that it's normal. I've heard that it's normal anyway, or I'm telling myself that it's normal, and I'm hoping it's normal. I'm hoping it gets better, and that I will get more confident in my choices that I make and the actions that I take. That rhymed. That was stupid, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's it. Otherwise, all is well. Lots of work. They are really short-staffed here, there, everywhere. Oh my gosh, everywhere is short-staffed right now. So they have me working 4 to 6 days a week right now, which is a lot, because I have 2 kids, which I know I've talked about, and you know, I get also that mom guilt of being at work, and then when I'm at home I feel guilty like I should be working, and you know, it's never ending with the mom guilt. So I really try and make my life balanced, and that when I am home I want to be present with my kids, which is why I didn't want to take the charting home. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm managing it the best way I can. I'm trying to be the best mom that I can and be a good nurse practitioner. So I'm hoping today will go smoothly. 2 to 8 today, which isn't so bad. At least I got to have the morning with my kids, and I'll still get to tuck them in tonight in bed, which is really important to me. My goal is actually to leave here when it's time to leave here, even if I have to take the charting home. See, this is a perfect example of why I'm like, I'll just take the charting home, because I can see my kids, I can tuck them into bed, and then I can finish my charting when they're asleep, but at least I get to kiss them goodnight versus staying here and finishing it for a couple hours. So that's probably what I'll do. That's my goal. Here's hoping that it goes smoothly. I do have another provider working with me today, so that is good. That feels good. I can already go in there with a little sigh of relief that I'm not the only provider. I've got all my resources. I got some snacks. I have not eaten really anything, so I'm gonna have to order some lunch, because it's a weird time to come in for me. Like, I usually eat lunch around now. I usually drink coffee all morning and then I'll eat lunch. But I feel like a little icky from not sleeping, and I've been drinking coffee, and then it was just weird timing to get lunch, so I'm gonna have to order something. But I've got like 5 granola bars in my bag, so I won't die. So that's my little update for now. That's my 1 month update as a new nurse practitioner. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm interested to hear from other new nurse practitioners how it's going for the transition for you. Are you feeling anxiety when you go home at night and kind of hoping that you did the best? How are you handling your charting? Any tips? Go ahead, share them. I'm listening. And until next time, I wish you guys all the very best. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.